Hey, it's Deborah from Create with Compassion. In this video, I'd like to share with you the creation of one of the cards from the October Bloom Box. Have you seen this kit yet? You get the directions, colored directions, showing you how to create these four beautiful cards featuring some of the new colors, Rustic Rose and Haystack. Here's a look at the stamp set, Beautiful Friendship. Love those sentiments and font. Now, I believe that this stamp set will be available by itself after October 31. But if you want the kit, which includes the cardstock and embellishments that you need already nicely separated for you, you just have to add some silks, inks, adhesive, and such. You can purchase that during the month of October, $29.95 plus shipping and tax. This is the one that we're going to make in this video right here. Love that. And so I've got my envelope and my little embellishments, little die cut stuff. So here we go with some bubblegum cardstock, and I'm going to pay attention to the orientation of this piece. So we're going to have it like that. This is my Rustic Rose card base, and just making sure I've got that orientation right. I've got the medium size cone flower and the small little cone shape there, some Rustic Rose ink, and we'll ink up this medium flower. It has 3 different size flowers in the stamp set, and I'm just gonna randomly stamp this flower all over the cardstock, going off the edges in some places, barely going on the edges in some. Alright, let's go ahead and bring in this cone. I'm going to do that in the same Rustic Rose color. And don't be afraid to, just move your cardstock all around. And I think I could line up this little cone if I just took my time a little bit better. The images are indexed, and they do a pretty good job of indexing them. And I think I'm just gonna want a little something down there maybe. All right, I think that's looking pretty good. I am gonna clean these real quick. I like to use the True Color Fusion cleaner. Just spritz a little bit on a lint-free rag and wipe those stamps clean. It does condition and clean them very well. So it's a great investment in keeping your red rubber stamps, which is a great investment, nice and clean and long lasting. There is some stamping that needs to be done on this tag, but I'm going to be using some silks on my card base. So I'm going to go ahead and get those pieces added to it so that I can get that silk sprinkled onto it and it can dry while I stamp my tag. So I've got just a little bit of craft glue here, and it's going to go on this die cut piece along the edge there, and then this will be just going to kind of line that up where I want it on the back side there. I've already got adhesive on the back of this, and we'll line that up over here. It's going to be flush up at the top. I might need to turn it so I can see better. Flush up at the top and down at the side. And if it overlaps, does that look straight? I think so. If it overlaps, you can just take your scissors, if you have any bit hanging off the bottom end, which I have just a little bit, and just trim that. Sometimes it's really not enough to make it worth it, but that's okay. All right, then we've got this piece of Limeade Splash. Put some adhesive onto that, and that is going to go over here. And as you can see, that does extend, so we'll just go ahead and grab our scissors and trim that off. Alright, so this is now ready for some gorgeous silks. So I have just an empty bloom box, and I like to use that for my silks and splashes. So I'm gonna shake up my sparkle silk. Love this. We're gonna just put a little bit around, and then we'll take the dark roast silk, and you want to shake that up good. You can hear the little ball in there. Shake that up good. Get that sparkle and shimmer and shine spread throughout, and then we'll just tap a little bit of that. Ooh, that was a big, wow. Yeah, I might have gotten more than I bargained for, because it's a nice new bottle and so juicy. But that is going to look nice. I'm going to set that off to the side to dry. Let's go ahead and bring in our tag. And this is the small curve little stem. Got some limeade splash here. Ink that up. And I'm going to go ahead and do the center one up a little taller. And then I'm going to kind of do this one over a little shorter. And these thin, narrow ones, you really want to go straight up, straight down, because they're so narrow, they're easy to, kind of go off to the side. All right, let's get our leaf in here and put some leaves on it. So I might have stamped these a little low, but that's all right. Let's do this one over there, and that one over there. The nice thing, if I don't like the way I have it, there is the other side. And then sometimes, it's all right if it's not perfect. It's perfectly fine if it's not perfect. All right, this is the smallest of the cone flowers. So we're gonna, oh yeah, I don't think I went up high enough, because this needs to be there. And well, we're just gonna go with it, and we'll see what it looks like. And like I said, if it's not good, there is the other side. So I've got the rustic rose ink, and I'm gonna be stamping that over here. And then I've got this cone and some cocoa powder ink, and make sure that's on my block good. It was kind of off centered. I didn't want to go get that stamped all wonky. All right, so that is actually looking not too bad. Now we're gonna get this sentiment. It says, "A sweet friendship refreshes the soul." And that is so very true. Friendships are so important, and it's so nice to let those people know how precious they are to you. So we're going to stamp that there. I like to wait a few moments, give that ink time to really get into the paper. And there we go. That's not too bad. It could be up a little bit more, but this card is not about perfection. They are not going to be looking at it and say, well, those flowers need to be up a little bit higher, So we are going to leave it like that. And that is all of our stamping. Oh, no, it's not. I like to stamp on my envelopes, and I kind of forgot to do that. So what I'm going to do is get my rustic rose back. This is the medium one, and we'll ink up that medium flower. I'm going to just kind of put it over here in the bottom left corner, and then let's go ahead and use that cocoa powder for the cone, and we'll put that there, and then some of that limeade splash there, and get the little stem there, ink that up, and just kind of put it in there. And then if we want, we can add a little bit of that leaf as well. Probably just maybe off to the side there. And you could do a small sentiment over there if you wanted to as well, but that just gives it a nice little added smile. I've got the gorgeous cocoa powder gingham ribbon. That's one of the things I love about the Bloom Box is you get to play with a variety of ribbons and embellishments. Lots of fun. But anyway, so we're going to slide that through. Looks like it's got some maybe oatmeal color with that cocoa powder. So I'm just going to slide that through and then take these two ends and go through that looped section, and it'll create kind of a slip knot. See if I can do that. There we go. And my ribbon kind of folded, so just kind of play with it as you're doing it so that you can have it look as neat and nice as you want it to. Just kind of pull it up there. There we go. And that looks great. You can leave it as that, or they have put in some of this really cute limeade splash twine. I think it's twine thread. Lemongrass thread. Goodness. Lemongrass thread on there, and they just kind of tie it in a bow. So we'll do that and see if I like it, because I don't know, I might like it without it and save this for another project, you know. So let's bring our card base in. It's probably dry by now, and I'm just gonna, I think I like it. I'm kind of a clean, plain and simple crafter. I think I like it without the added green. Here's a picture of it with the added green. Hopefully you can see that, but I think I like it without. So I'm just gonna save this for another project because it is a nice pretty color. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and trim these tags, or not tags, but the ends of my ribbon. Trim that a little bit, kind of at an angle, opposite angle each side. There we go. And let's add this up on some foam squares. I've got some medium foam squares. And then I think once we get that up there, we'll add some sequins and it'll be good to go. Alright, so this is going to go kind of down here near the bottom. There we go. I think that might be a little lower than I want, so I'm just gonna carefully lift this up. Always make sure you have it in place before you press on those foam squares. See if I can do it without ruining my card. Now that one stayed, so I'll just make sure that I cover it. Alright. Yeah, I think that's better. Alright, that's a little bit better. Hopefully you learned from my mistakes or from my errors. So, okay, there we go. Let's get these little silver sequins and some craft glue here. We're going to put a few up here. Just going to put a little dot. I'm going to put 3 of them up here, so 3 little dots of glue. And bring in some of these sequins. Just place them there. And there. And maybe one of the little ones there. I'm just going to bring in my bloom tool and use the dental pick to kind of just help flatten it on there. There we go. Get this one there. And the craft glue does dry clear. Alright, and in their example they put a couple down here. It's always good to do embellishments in odd numbers, so we're going to do 5, 3, and 2, and they say triangles are pleasing to the eye, so put a big one down here, and then maybe one of the mediums. Whoops, missed that glue dot right there, and there we go. Okay, so there's our card and envelope there. A sweet friendship refreshes the soul. This is a great card for, birthday, or just letting someone know that you really love them. I love that sparkle from the sparkle silk. Anyway, that is the card from the October Bloom Box. If you have any questions about the Bloom Box, please don't hesitate to contact me. You can email me at deborah@createwithcompassion.com. Thanks so much for spending a little bit of time with me, and I hope that you have some opportunities today to create with compassion. Have an awesome day. Bye.